Hi, this is Miss Me. Please subscribe because I'm making a video after months. Today I want to talk about something irrelevant. The rise of the white wall aesthetic in India. And how basically Pinterest shapes what is an Indian aesthetic and what is an aesthetic in general. When I talk about the white wall aesthetic in India, I mean this. Basically, I'm a victim too. So initially when I started content creation, there was this intense pressure to have a house that has white walls and white tables. And when I looked up aesthetic Indian vlogs or something like that, always it was like an indoor vlog, which is like a IKEA table, a white wall, a desk setup, very curated house that is not of an average Indian, I would say, because it is very upper class to have access to stuff like this. So that's why I call this topic insignificant. But let's dive deeper into it. How much of this aesthetic is a personal choice and how much of it is a social consequence? Social media doesn't just reflect trends, it actively shapes them. This is where we get cores like blokecore, cottagecore, corpcore, where people curate identities, their style of dressing, the style of behaving, acting, and how their surroundings, and they build online communities around it. A 2022 YouGov survey found that 67% of Gen Z Indians feel the pressure to adopt global trends, even though 60% of them agree that these trends do not actually align with their cultural heritage. We are drawn to global styles not because they align with us or they are just the most beautiful. It's because they make us feel like a part of something bigger. But this drive to fit into global aesthetics usually sidelines indigenous styles. In India, choosing westernized aesthetics come with judgment. For example, if you say bucks instead of rupees in a video, you are gonna... Or if you speak with a non-Indian accent, you are immediately gonna be labeled pretentious or someone who worships the West, like Angrez chale gaye, aulad chhod gaye wala. There's this assumption that if you're adopting Western trends or culture, then you are abandoning your roots or your own culture. A Pew Research study done in 2021 found that 58% of Indians feel judged for adopting Western lifestyles. These judgments overlook the fact that identity is fluid. For example, I am one culture. For example, I'm Assamese and I'm Hindu. But I'm also a girl. And then there are a lot of things like my separate identities form who I am. It's not just one identity and the stereotype that I'm supposed to fit in. And the West itself isn't just one monolithic culture. There are many countries in the West. It oversimplifies the diversity in these countries. For example, France is not the same as Germany or US. This brings us to the question, what exactly is Indian culture? Because India is so vast and diverse, defining one unified Indian aesthetic is sort of impossible. A study in Indian architecture and design highlighted how each state in India, not even state, almost every other district in India offers a unique visual culture. For example, Jaipur has vibrant hues, but Kerala has more muted architecture. Traditional designs in Assam look nothing like those in Tamil Nadu. When you look up Indian aesthetics online, you come across a Western mimicry or Korean designs that do not really reflect the diversity in India. And we're often left asking, what does it mean to have an Indian aesthetic? When Navratri was going on, people were like, let's dress up traditional, let's embrace our roots. The thing is, I've never danced Garba in my life before coming to Mumbai. So it's not really my roots. But like, if I don't do it, then I'm not Indian enough. And the thing is, I definitely enjoyed it. I really loved how excited everyone was. I loved dressing up and all of these things. But is there really one way to be Indian? The reciprocity of cultural exchange. India's love for Western trends often overshadows how much Indian trends are also popular worldwide. Basically, cultural exchange is bidirectional. Practices like yoga, meditation, Ayurveda, and a lot of things like Bollywood, food, a lot of things have been adopted by the West as well. A lot of our cultural monuments, architecture has been replicated in the West as well. Culture is not very gatekeep, girl boss, gaslight. Maybe it is, I don't know. Many of our personal tastes or aesthetics are curated by algorithms. So for example, Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everything is owned by Western companies. So it makes sense that most of the trends that come up there are also Western. In India, 75% of the users are below 35. So the influence is significant. The socioeconomic privilege of the white wall aesthetic. So the white wall aesthetic isn't just about taste, it's about privilege. Imported brands like IKEA and premium decor are not accessible to all Indians. They are only accessible to a higher income segment of Indians. A 2021 report by the National Council of Applied Economic Research found that nearly 80% of India's urban middle class struggles to afford these high-end decor items. This leads to a form of aesthetic elitism, where following a global popular look is out of reach for many. This reinforces class divide between those who can access these looks and those who cannot. The public infrastructure also influences aesthetic choices. A 2023 Swachh Bharat survey found that only 46% of urban areas met basic cleanliness benchmarks. In a response, people are turning their homes into escapes. This pushes people to private, often curated spaces instead of celebrating the unique but sometimes chaotic charm of Indian everyday life. Also, there is a severe lack of pop culture in India outside Bollywood. Even when I was looking for topics for making this video, it was so difficult because I did not keep up with a lot of Bollywood news. So it was very difficult for me to come up with videos which are not extremely like I am the news channel, I am a journalist sort of, but like basic pop culture, which is not that serious, but like a deep dive. It was so difficult to find topics because everything is Bollywood, 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 and I don't want to talk about Bollywood. Like maybe someday, but not right now. And Bollywood aesthetics usually dominate, and they overshadow regional art and designs. As a content creator myself, I feel compelled to adopt a minimal aesthetic due to brand expectations. For example, when the first time I was shooting for a brand, they were like, "You need to shoot in front of a white wall." And back at my house in Assam, I didn't have a white wall, and I was like, where do I find a clear space? Then I went outside and I found white walls nowhere. At least the type of white walls they wanted. Like they were pretty places, but not exactly white walls, and you can't call them minimalist. And they said that they don't want any distraction in the background, and quite difficult to find. And even in cities, it's difficult to find unless you like start filming in a mall and then the guard chases you out of there. A recent survey on Indian influencers in 2022 by NCAER India found that 73% felt pressured to maintain a neutral aesthetic to secure brand sponsorships. This makes it harder to showcase your authentic self. I remember once I posted a photo of this pink outfit in front of a wall right outside my house, and then all the comments were like, "Did you not get a better background? Did you not get a like something better or something like that?" And I was like, what? And I won't say that these things didn't have an impact for me because at the end I care about money. Indian Housing Survey in 2022 revealed only 18% of urban Indian households have interiors resembling the minimalist Western standard. These visuals highly disconnect from reality. True aesthetic freedom comes from awareness. I'm not asking anyone to change their choices. If you like K-pop, if you like Korean style, if you like American style, if you like any specific country, you like France, you like whatever the hell you like, go ahead. It's just that there should be awareness of how much privilege is playing a role in this, how much our algorithm is playing a role in this. Studies show that acknowledging these influences allow us to create spaces that genuinely reflect our authentic self and not just what is trending. Also, a lot of consumerism that comes along with this. To reflect something that you saw in a video, to recreate that, you would also need to buy a lot of crap. There is no end of stuff you need to buy. So what do you think? Do you think your aesthetic is truly yours, or is it influenced by social media? Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share and subscribe. Bye bye.